Hi, it's Gabby here in Manchester in the UK. I just wanted to jump on and share some thoughts with you that I've been sharing with a friend of mine today. We've been talking about radical self-care, which is something that I think is much needed in these crazy, difficult times that we're all going through. Just wanted to share some of my ideas, maybe something that resonates with you. I hope you find some of it useful. Um, First thing I wanted to talk about was really one of my top tips is to stop doing things you don't want to do. Now, we all have a lot of obligations. It might be work, it might be family, whatever it is that's going on in your life. Um, but if you're struggling, and if most of us are, and let's be honest, um, sometimes it's good to just stop and ask yourself, is there anything that you're doing? Is there any time that you're spending that you can actually get out of doing that thing? Is there something that you can stop doing? Is an obligation that you've got that you can say, do you know what, when I took this on I really wanted to do it, but it's just not working for me now. I'm struggling, I don't have the time. You don't have to make lots of excuses. I think just enough to say this is not working for me now, and it's about putting yourself first. And I think particularly women, or if you've got a family, you are used to putting yourself second, and we do that when we have children. We know that children come first, but that doesn't mean we get into that habit sometimes that we always put ourselves second, and that's not serving anybody. It's no good for anybody else around you if you are being miserable. And sometimes just that little obligation that you've got, just let it go, can give you a bit of space, a bit of time to relax, something that we all need. And the other thing I'd say, following on from that really, is a top tip. And I'm not telling you what to do because I'm not here to do that. Something that I've noticed in myself, I need to stop doing things that I know are not good for me. So when we first went into lockdown, I'm as guilty as anybody else of drinking too much alcohol, eating food that I know is not good for me, just for that instant gratification. And that feels nice for the short amount of time that you do it, but the next day when you've got the headache, or the next day when you're feeling really sluggish because you've eaten some food that makes you feel bad, you're not doing yourself any favours. So, we're in lockdown again, thinking about when we come out of lockdown, what do you want to feel like when you come out? If you're not doing any exercise, and I went through a phase of not doing any exercise at all, just doing 5-10 minutes something every day, just moving, dancing, doing something that you enjoy doing, just moving your body, getting out for a little walk. I think all the time about doing something that your future self will thank you for, rather than that instant, what can I do now to make myself feel better? And sometimes it was, just staying up late, watching Netflix till the early hours. Yeah, it's great at the time watching something you really enjoy. How do you feel the next day? Do you want to feel like that? Maybe not. My next top tip is something that I learned a while ago, is to minimize the amount of time that I spend with negative people. And sometimes that is easier said than done, depends who they are, if they're work colleagues, if they're family. But again, it's sometimes people that carry that negative energy with you and don't make you feel very good about yourself. Do you really need that in your life? We're all struggling at the minute. We need as much as we can to preserve our own energy, to make ourselves feel good. None of us were put on this world to feel miserable. Yeah, and if you're around those sorts of people, can you minimize the time you spend with them? And included in that, I'd really say time spent following people on social media, maybe that are angry people, people that that again, just negative energy you don't need in your life. And included in that, I class watching the news. I just don't watch the news anymore. I don't need to follow the news every day to watch that constant drumbeat of doom and gloom that we've been given, and that constant fear that I feel is being pushed on us. Doesn't make me feel better. I don't feel any better for knowing the facts and figures of what's going on. Doesn't mean I'm burying my head in the sand. It's self-preservation. I cannot listen to that every day of what a terrible place the world is, because I don't believe the world is a terrible place. Yes, we are all going through some times at the moment, but I truly believe we'll come out of this, hopefully, happier, healthier, if we look after ourselves. And a lot of that is about being kind, not just to other people, but being kind to yourself. And on that note, just looking at my notes, one of the things I've learned as well is that little voice that's your little critic that's in your head sometimes. I've learned to train that little voice, because at one point that little voice was my own worst critic. It was, oh, you've messed up again. Oh, you always mess that up. Oh, why have you done that? You never get that right. And the first step for me was to just notice when I was doing that, notice when that little voice was saying it, and just telling it to be quiet. I'm not listening to that, I'm not having it. And I've learned to train that little voice to be my best friend, not my worst critic. And that doesn't mean I'm full of myself and I'm thinking I'm wonderful. I'm just thinking, do you know what, I'm okay, I'm doing the best that I can, and I don't need any more critics, thank you. The world is full of critics already. The world is full of people who want to drag you down. So don't add your voice to that, you know. Just be kind to yourself. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to your best friend. You'd never say to your best friend, oh, you messed up again. You're always doing that and you're rubbish at that. You're never going to come to much, are you? You'd never say that. So why would you say that to yourself? So again, just think of something to think about. And my last thought really is just thinking, you know, we all deserve to be happy. And it's not selfish to think about being happy and putting yourself first. Just show yourself a little bit of kindness, a little bit of compassion. We've been through so much in the last year, all of us, and just reaching out to you and saying, if anybody wants to PM me, anybody wants to talk to me, please get in touch. We've all got different things going on in our lives, but I'm always here for you, and please reach out if you need somebody to talk to. So thank you for listening to my little ramblings, and stay safe, stay happy. See you soon. Bye bye.